Welcome everybody to the finale of the Broken Wing Racing League GT3 Championship here at Mount Panorama, or Bathurst, as some might say. On screen, we have qualifying going on right now. We have taking a look at Alex Carver on his outlap. Everyone's on their outlap, but thought it'd be a good time to take a look at who in the driver standings is up for debate. We have Timothy Bray of Team Upstate with 1,353 points. It's going to be really hard for that driver to lose his spot, but it is possible. If he finishes 10 positions down from P3, Andrew Pickerel, he will have definitely lost out. But Andrew Pickerel would also need to finish with that 350 points sitting in P1 or 2. So it's going to be a difficult one for the tryhard team. But Trey Mistack, more than likely, is going to be able to keep P2, possibly get P1. Again, same scenario for him with Timothy Bray. He's got to finish 10 positions, 8 positions higher, I would say. But for Valhalla Motorsports, all Trey has to do is finish ahead of Pickerel, Andrew Pickerel there in P3, and he will maintain his position as the runner-up in this driver standings. We have Alex Carver in P4 with 988 points. It looks like he actually can overtake Andrew Pickerel and Trey Mistack for their positions as well, and maybe finish P2 himself. Anyone's game here. He's got to finish in P1 or 2 to get those extra points and finish above those two other drivers. And then going down the line, you have Eric Miller, Tyler Tier, Andrew Burr. And I won't go through the entire list here, but as you can see, we have a lot of drivers really in contention for the driver championship. And then going over, we have still on screen Alex Carver on his hot lap there, finally going there. And then we have looks to be Trey Mistack just ahead of Alex Carver, also on a flyer. And then let's see. And then following up, we have the last, we have the Drivers' Team Championship with Anseed Racing, just ahead with 1,903 points. Team Upstate is in P2, and the Tryhards are in P3. And Valhalla Motorsports P4, and the Tracklicious Sim Racing Carbon P5, Grid P6, Valhalla 7, Galactic Racing 8, Sofa King Racing 9. Gaffing Global Motorsports, Narwhal Racing Team, Serial Offenders, Samsoid, Simsport? Simps? I think that's... jeez. I hope they don't have a anime waifu livery on their car. But then we got Scuderia D10S, and then Hinterhops Racing. Now, very close amongst the top 5 teams right there. You have Tracklicious at 1,790. It could be anyone's game as long as he gets a couple, good positions. He could overtake the Valhalla and the Tryhards and Team Upstate. So very close contention on this, on what's going on here. So as we go on to that, we'll go right back to the live screen and do away with that nonsense. Yeah, Simsport. Simps is misspelled. Okay, all right. Thanks for saying that, Teague. Already across the line, Matthew Shack. Always gonna mess that one up. It does a 202, so we'll boil back here. We can see that he's on another flyer, but he has posted the fastest time with a 202.9. Trey Mistack in P2 with a 203.5. Alex Carver with a 203.6. Christopher Douglas with a 203.7. Timothy Bray with a 203.8. He is our P1 in the driver standings right now, so that's going to be very spicy for that driver, because right behind him in P6 is Andrew Pickerel with a 203.9. Craig Carroll in P7 with a 204. And we'll just pop on some of these results so you can see that. We got Eric Miller in P8. Nate Campbell in P9. Trey Anderson in P10. Oh, Wiley Cox just goes across the line with a P7. And there goes Matt Shack. The Shake Shack has shaken, and he is into that wall. It's unfortunate for that driver. We'll pop on Trey Mistack here, who's sitting in P2. Let's see if he can't jump that driver right now and get a better position out of this. Going across the line, Andrew Gallagher with a P12, Tyler Anderson with a P13, Eric Rodriguez with a 14, Andrew Korostecki with a 15, P16 is Matthew Wyckoff, and then just across the line is Jacob Clemens, and he just goes P13, overtaking many other drivers I just mentioned. You've got Zachary Hinterhoff in 19, David Gauntlet in P20, with another additional set of drivers that have not yet made it across the line. We got 34 drivers on track, and it looks like Trey Mistak went across the line, went faster than Matthew Shack, and he is a 228, and he's going to keep going. He's on three-lap old tires, and that warmness might actually help him. The track temps right now, 23 degrees. I think that's warm enough. There's a lot of grip on the track. Looks like he's handling it perfectly. Both the Griffins bend. Up the mountain he goes. Is he going to be able to improve upon his time? We won't know. Barely see. But it looks like he takes that just perfectly. Max Yoder with P17, Darren Rutherford. Ruthford, I should say. That's P16. Some of these names are new to me, so it's going to be... Oh, across the line for P10 goes Cody Watson with the Tryhards. And then Ray Frias in P7. That's a new name added to the top 10. David Flanagan in P6. No shakeup other than Trey Mistak actually going faster than Matt Shack, who is back out on the track on his outlap. Alex Carver on three-lap old tires, does a 203 even, does not improve enough to overtake P1 or 2 for those positions. We have Noah Hoskinson in P26, Steve Alton McAllister in P27, Nicholas Matcham P28. Time set by those drivers. Tyler Tier goes P23. And anyone still left unaccounted for, I don't think I missed. Oh, Eddie A. Layton in P12. And then Kyle Deckard in P8. That's a new one. Does not improve upon his time. Looks like Trey Mistak close to improve upon his time. He was only down by a couple thousandths of a second, which is quite a feat in its own right here. We'll just pop over here to the blimp as we take a look. He did a 202.860. His last lap was a 202.888. The man has pace as he continues qualifying, going right back up the mountain, see what he can do about that. Going over to some other drivers here. Let's see. Timothy Bray's out. Matt Shack's out. Oh, no. Matthew Shack's in it. And he is on one old lap tire. So this is a push lap for Matthew Shack, who's in P2. Possibly wants to get back that P1 provisional pole. Still up for grabs as we have about 20 seconds left on qualifying before, if you're on track, you get it. If you don't, you're not on. And that's just how it goes. Forget the actual rules here, but I believe everyone will be allowed to finish their lap as he crosses the line. Matt Shack actually goes faster with a 202.689. That's 0.2 faster than his rival there, Trey Mistak, who, into, let's just pull that back just slightly, and just lost the rear a little bit. Well, unable to prove upon his time, he is going to sit in P2. I mean, focus on crashes, and the first person comes up is just joking there, folks. Whoa. Okay, Cody Watson into the barrier he goes, but his teammate Andrew Pickrell, who's P3 in the Driver Championship. Possible that this driver ends up being able to overtake 2 other drivers ahead of him in the Driver Championship. That would be something. It would be truly a feat. But the team's name is Tryhard, so maybe he's going to try hard his way into that victory. He is sitting P10 right now, and Timothy Bray is P4, as well as Matt Shack is it Matt Shack or Trey Mistack? The names are too close and similar to me. One of those drivers is the one that's fighting him in the P2 spot. I couldn't tell you which one that is. I already forgot. And there goes Andrew Pickrell across the line. He was unable to improve upon his time. He's P10. Anyone left on the grid here? Got Tyler Tier. About a minute. Oh, countdown. We got a minute and 20 left. Tyler Tier is going to try to improve upon his time. He is P18 right now. Only a couple more drivers left out on track. Oh, everybody's pit. Everyone's gone in the pits. I think that's it. That's our leaderboard. That's qualifying, folks. We got Matt Shack, P1, Trey Mistack, P2, Alex Carver, P3, Timothy Bray, Eddie A. Layton, Christopher Douglas in 6, David Flanagan in 7, Ray Frias in 8, Kyler Deckard in 9, Andrew Pickrell in 10, Cody Wasserman in 11, Craig Carroll in 13, Noah Hoskinson in 14, Eric Miller in 15, 14, Wiley Cox in 15, Nate Campbell in 16, Tyler Anderson in 17, Tyler Tier at 18. A lot of double names in this league. A lot of double names. Andrew Gallagher in 19, Jacob Clemens in 20, Darren Rutherford in 21, Max Yoder in 22, Eric Rodriguez in 23, and Andrew Korostecki in 24, Matthew Wyckoff in 25. I really have to say all these names. Levi De Quirel in 26. I hope I said that right. Zachary Hinterhoff in 27. Steve McAllister in 28. Nicholas Matcham in 29. David Gauntlet in 30. And only 4 drivers that did not set a time. That would be not in order, folks, but it's going to be Sean McInnes, Kyle Aiken, Zachary Bryant, and Scott Neiman, finishing out that lineup of 34 drivers. All right. And we got about 40. I'm not sure exactly how much time we got left on the grid here. Let's just pull back to... We're missing about 4 drivers. 3 drivers. And then I think it's going to be go time after that. And they're sitting there on the back straight. Rolling start. This should be interesting, folks. Tying it all out there. We got Matt Shack and Trey Mistack both fighting in that championship, along with Andrew Pickrell and Timothy Bray. Should be spicy. And it looks to be we're only waiting on 1 more driver. Pull down the lineup here. 2 drivers. And 1 driver blinking. All right, one back. I think we're just down to 1 driver. And a couple of teammates, looks like. Their liveries do look familiar. And then a couple of those drivers also have similar liveries. That Brown looks to be a team as well, but there's another driver with a livery just ahead of him, and it's not sure whose is who. And we'll probably stick with Ray Frias here in the car number 838 here, as Maybe we'll go up a couple tads. See the top 4 on Christopher Douglas here as they approach the start straight finish here, going into Hell's Corner, going in that first straight, into Griffin's Bend. Just take it from this view, maybe change depending on how it all looks, but I'm going to be pulling it back on some of these drivers. It's go time, and we already see down the inside line goes a driver overtaking. Wow, that is a super aggressive move, but he sticks it. Plenty of space left for drivers to continue there. And down the straight, it looks just perfect from this angle. And we got a couple drivers going for it here. A couple of teammates, as Cody Wassam and Andrew Pickrell are side by side with, looks to be one of their buddies up there. And, oh, that is Ray Frias. Oh! And it is clear. Just a little bit of contact, but nothing too daunting. Looks like he's going to be able to maintain, not even losing that many positions there. Oh, as he tags a driver and then gets spun himself, and that is a lot of drivers involved in what could be a queue to get through this. And that is unfortunate. They will get back to racing, and there's another guy off in the corner there. Oh, and that's an AlphaTauri livery, and whoa, that guy's spinning. Oh! And just gets tagged by Darren Rutherford. Max Yoder is feeling the blues, as his car is not drivable, as he looks like be operating that thing to get it back into speed. We'll get off. Whoa! And a couple more drivers off into the, just getting a little shaken up is the best way I could say describe that. As we'll pull forward here, folks. A lot of people did not make it up that mountain, and that is unfortunate. Kyle Deckard here, with a great start down that inside line, had a great jump off the line, and now he's going side by side and gets a little unsettled there. But Timothy Bray goes through, and that is the driver champion in P1 right there, and jumping ahead. And then that's Andrew Pickrell just behind. And we will have to wait a second here, but we have Trey Mistack here in P3. Matthew Shack in P1. Alex Carver P2. Car's just ahead. And we're going to pull it back. A beautiful move, I would say, by Kyle Deckard right off the start of this race here, folks. Going down the inside line with some confidence. Got enough room from the driver next to him to be able to keep that inside line and really make that overtake stick. Multiple overtakes, actually. And then you have just a queue of drivers following behind. Nobody trying to make any sudden moves just yet. And we'll just jump back a little bit because we saw some funniness happen, but there's Noah Hodgkinson's in P11 with 2 drivers behind him. That's David Flanagan and Nate Campbell. Both being able to hold their own right now. As whoa, I say that too soon, and there he goes, folks. That is David Flanagan into the wall. Let's see if he's not able to keep this on track. Oh, man. He is doing fine because he is letting people by, and he has not made a move. There's Coach Craig Carroll. He just takes a position there. And, oh! And Andrew Korostecki is just put himself into the pit lane. That's unfortunate for him. A lot of action, folks. A lot of action. And we see our leaders here, P1, 2, and 3, with a little gap from each other. About a second back. Alex Carver with about I would say, yeah, each driver about separated by a full second. And now Alex Carver looking to press upon that. See if he tries to go for anything here. And really trying to get that bird's eye view here, but there we go. He is half a second away from Matthew Shack. We have some drivers that have just gone out that are lapped down, so that could shake up everything. And as I say that, Max Yoder goes to the side to allow drivers to pass with good intention. That is actually quite the nice move. Trey Mistack in P3 really pushing for it. Still separated by a full second, though. All the drivers in P1, 2, and 3. I don't think anything's going to happen each time soon, but anything can happen going up that mountain. We got Kyle Deckard in P5 with Eddie Layton just ahead of him. Andrew Pickrell about a second off behind. And Max Yoder might prove difficult going down the S to the S's here. Just backing up Eddie Layton into Kyle Deckard. That's no bueno. Max Yoder's on an outlap. So his tires aren't going to be up to temp, so he's definitely playing it safe. But now he's made it so these two drivers are really battling for position. And that is just unfortunate for Eddie there. But it looks like he's going to be able to get that pass to go. Max giving space for these drivers to continue battling. But is Kyle Deckard going to try to make the move down the inside line? He looks like he's going for it. Oh, he tucks right back in. Maybe he's just a patient man. And looks like Andrew Pickrell was able to gain half a second off of that interaction. So now he's only 6/10 back from Kyle Deckard, who has Eddie Layton in front of him. Down Concord straight we go. Just see if anyone's going to make any moves going into Griffin's Bend. It looks like Eddie Layton's about 3/10 off this driver. Is he going to try to make the move? The thought would be to do it right about now if he was further along, but he's not. I think he's just going to tuck in there and just keep pushing best he can. Just wait for the mistake by Eddie. But he can't wait too long because there goes Andrew Pickrell. Now 2/10 gain off of these two drivers just sitting here. And Zachary, touches the wall a little bit. And that's Zachary Hinterhoff at P29 just ahead of them. It's going to be another situation going to the S's that these drivers... Oh, he is into the wall. And now Eddie has made to make some course corrections, but that really puts him on the defensive as now goes Andrew Pickrell just behind Kyle Deckard there, and they are closer than they've ever been. Technical difficulties by the production crew there. That was not on me. But definitely can see these two drivers still going at it. Now closer than he's ever been before. Is he going to make the move? I really hope so. He's pushed before. He's getting closer. He's tucking right back in. And Andrew Pickrell, while closer, still no move done by that driver just behind. And we are going to veer off here. Nice little angle there. And from the blimp eye view, I think we got ourselves a little battle here. And there it is. Down the straight they go. Kyle Deckard, who was pushing Eddie Layton, now looks to be on the defensive here, but can't make the move. I wonder if he's going to keep that space given for what looks to be Andrew Pickrell overtaking him. Just executed that perfectly. Not too much speed going into the corner, not too little speed. He made it work, and now he has this driver right on his back end, but keeps it together, and that is what you like to see in an overtake, folks. Just see the twitchiness, making every course correction you possibly can when you're on this mountain. It's make it or break it. That puts Andrew Pickrell in P5, but is he going to be able to hold on to it Subsequently, he's still P3 in the driver championship, and he has 2 drivers ahead of him that are in P1 and 2. Oh, wait a second. I have to take a look at something. Okay, so it's Trey Mistack in P2. Oh, little jostle there from Andrew Pickle here. And we're going to jump ahead here. Trey Mistack is P2 in the Drivers' Championship. He is going to take home P3 if he stays consistent. He's got Eddie Layton and Andrew Pickrell behind 5 seconds and 6 seconds back. Now, the interesting thing here, folks, is that our driver champion, and I did not know this was happening, there must have been some funny business that happened. He was sitting in the top 5. He's not there anymore. And if you don't remember the name, it's Timothy Bray. And we're going to pull down the lineup here. Back further and further we go. Might hold off on that. It looks like Eric Miller just overtook Nate Campbell for P9. And, you know what, let's just pull back and see if we can't see that one happen. Yep, there it is. Oh, he goes into the final corner. Just gets a little offset, hits that wall. And then Eric Miller goes ahead of him for the pass to P9. But jumping back further, and why this was so contentious in the first place when I mentioned it during qualifying, is that we have some drivers. Oh, look at these drivers are all together like this. So we'll actually pull back to this and see what's happening. We have Max Yoder again. Some lap traffic. Might be creating some saucy situations for these drivers to either get by or have to get bunched up because he is he's just in there, blue flagged. Let's see if Nate Campbell tries to do the old 1-2 and send it down the inside here. And he... Oh, it looks like he was going to try to go for it, but that puts him in a bad state. Really don't want to take that kind of entry to the corner, especially when you're not actually overtaking anybody there. But as I was saying, we have some drivers further back in the grid, and it very much pains me to say this, but Timothy Bray... sitting in P18 here is not a good look. He needs maximum points. He doesn't even need maximum points. What he needs is 10 positions. He needs to touch at least 10 positions on Andrew Pickrell and Trey Mistack, who are sitting P3 and P5 right now. As it looks, he gets P17 out of that last lap, which is a good move for him. He's got Craig Carroll about 7 seconds and almost 8 seconds ahead of him. If by the end of this race, he does not pull that gap between 10 and gets to P13, he's looking to lose the Drivers' Championship on that alone. So the driver coming in with over 300 points ahead of P3 will lose to P3 as well as P2 in the championship. It's pretty saucy if I've ever seen it before. That's as rough as it goes. And back on board, we'll look at Tyler Anderson at the back of this little train forming here with Max Yoder just ahead by about half a second to Noah Hodgkinson, who was P11, overtook Nate Campbell for P10. There goes Max Yoder letting these drivers by. And just 1 second, folks. There's 4 tenths going on right here. Is Nate Campbell going to be able to make anything happen there on P11 from P to P10? Anything's possible, but we got a little group formed here, and just behind Max Yoder, I believe another driver who's actually still on the main lap here. I'll pull back. Oh. And there goes that. Take a look at Craig Carroll has about a half a second off of Matthew Wyckoff, P15. Timothy Bray, P17, still 6 seconds back. He was 7 seconds back. So the driver who is sitting P1 in the standings, still the possibility for him to make back a lot of positions by the end of this race. As we see some dust going into the S's, looks to be cleared, which is good news for these two drivers as they are pushing. Now, can Craig make a move against Matthew Wyckoff? A little bit of brake locking, I would say, from Eric Rodriguez, who was just ahead of these drivers by about 4 seconds. I'm rounding up, folks, rounding up. That's 3.7 seconds, but might as well be 4. And we can see that Craig Carroll's front end is still intact, at least on the left side. Can't be said for some other drivers who did see some unfortunate incidents occur off that start, and we already got a driver going into the box, and that is Max Yoder. Unfortunate for him, he was involved in one of those incidences. Maybe this car's not drivable, don't know at this time. But you hate to see it, folks. You hate to see it anytime a racing incident occurs like that. And will we see Craig Carroll try to make that move, or is he going to tuck in? Looks like he's tucking in. They're down to 150, now to 100, and he goes into the Griffin's Bend, just following suit with Matthew Wyckoff, about 3 tenths off of him. He's getting closer, though, meaning that that move is going to happen if he just continues to find those apexes, find those exits, makes good pace out of this, but he just lost about 3 tenths there. Unfortunate. Now a half a second off, but he's coming right back at it. 4 tenths, 3 tenths. Looks like he's being ambitious, trying to hold it. Down to the S as they go. Really just needs to find the back of his bumper when they finally get to that final corner, going into the back straight there. And he's still half a second. Not sure if that was a good it was an exit that is going to allow him to get close. It's not. It looks like he lost about 3 tenths there, and he is too far back for to make a move. And we'll just see how he takes this corner. Very nice, very nice. And we're going to jump to the blimp so we can take a look at some action going out on track here. Eric Miller in P8, Tyler Tier P9, Tyler Anderson P10. A lot of shakeup happened in the I'd say P9 to 14 order. Cody Wasserman P7. Kyle, whoa! And a little bit of bump and grind, folks. What is happening here is Kyle Deckard bear witness to Andrew Pickrell and Andrew Korostecki Little tap. Driver is blue flagged. Was he going to give it to him? Yes, he is. He goes through. That gives Kyle Deckard the space as well, as he is now 2/10 off of Andrew Pickrell. Still fighting for P5 and 6 right now with Eddie Layton. About 1.3 seconds off. With a good exit, is that going to be enough for this driver, Kyle Deckard, who looks like he's in a human skin suit? In his, I mean, to each their own, but that driver suit does look a little suspiciously like a human skin suit. Definitely not something you want to see there. And there goes Andrew Pickrell, defensive down the inside line, does not give it to Kyle Deckard. Kyle Deckard's going to have to make the move on the outside, if anything, because look at there. Andrew Pickrell tucks back in to get that good entry into the last corner there. Oh! Whoa! And I don't know if you guys saw that, folks, but pulling him back just slightly. Oh, no. And the driver has opted for the pits. We'll take a look at something as soon as we get past this section. Kind of get stuck on that pace car. Got Eric Miller P8 set. Cody Wassom's kind of in a race of his own with the drivers 4.5 seconds back, and then the guy he's attacking, Kyle Deckard, with 2.2 seconds. We do have Andrew Pickrell just ahead at P5, half a second off. We're going to push through, see how some of these drivers are taking this. Eddie Layton. Kind of another driver in a race of his own. He's sitting P4 with a driver ahead of him in P3 with 8 seconds to go to him and a 2-second gap behind him. Very comfortable gaps to have when you're in a race like this, especially going through the mountain section here. And then just ahead, we got Trey Mistak in P3, looking to take home P1 in the Drivers' Championship if he stays in this position and Timothy Bray does not pull to P13. There is a good chance this driver is going to take home P1 in the Drivers' Championship, which is an exciting thing in its own right. He just has to keep it mistake-free. Nicholas Matcham, P21, down the inside. Trey Mistak goes with that blue flag. He gave him all the space to go for it. Even better, we have Alex Carver has cut that gap, as well as all these drivers have been about a second off of each other in P1, 2, and 3. But now it looks like we have a battle for the lead, and Alex Carver is only 4/10 behind Matt Scheck. And we have seen this before, folks. We have seen it before. Alex Carver battling for the lead at the Nordschleife against... I wouldn't say. Definitely not this car. It was like a teal-black car. Almost like Mercedes colors. I forget the driver's name, but very contentious. They might very much... Alex Carver jumped the driver in the pits, was able to get back out there, get ahead by just a couple seconds. That driver put it back into play, gained some speed on track, cut back. It was a battle towards the last couple of turns it took them, and I can foresee Alex Carver making that same type of move, whether or not he's going to pit early. It doesn't look like any driver has gone into the pit lane besides drivers who have unfortunately been crashed out or had an incident of their own. But everyone's on 12 lap old tires. Matt Shake Shack Matt has pulled away with a 1.3 second gap to P2, and there goes Alex Carver. Just like he sees him right there in the distance, but cannot make the time to get close enough to him at this moment in time. And just behind him, we have Trey Mistak, who in that entirety has been approaching Alex Carver and been pushing as Matt Shack has gone into the pit first. So the overcut is on the table right now. Alex Carver has overcut a team driver before in previous races. We'll see if he's going to be able to do it this time. Pulling away from the overview here, or the driver's side view, we see if these drivers are able to do it. So pulling back here, we have Eddie Layton, Andrew Pickrell, Kyle Decker, Cody Wassam, Eric Miller, Tyler Tier, oh, there goes the it's a little odd. Let's see. Yeah, back at it. Tyler Tier, P9, Matthew Shack comes back out. He was P1. He's on his outlap. He's got Eric Rodriguez about 3 seconds back. He's P10 right now. So it's 9 drivers that are going to have to take are going to pit, and maybe he gets back his position. We'll see what happens. We'll pull towards him shortly. Let's go Ray F. Ray Frias. Ray. Ray Frias is P18 right now. Oh no. Ooh. And we're jumping. Let's see what. So Alex Carver is sitting P1. Trey Mistack is sitting P2. Neither driver opts to go into the pit lane. Trey Mistack is only half a second off of him, still battling it out there. And 4/10. Is he going to try to make the move? Is he going to dance around the inside? Doesn't look like it. Looks like he's just going to stick with this driver and keep going. One thing I wanted to point out there on track, folks, is that Timothy Bray, who's sitting in P25 at the moment, has left the session. I believe he is out of it completely. And you hate to see it, folks, but he was the P1 in the Driver Championship, and it doesn't look like he is going to be able to defend that title. Going to the final couple laps, we are going to see who actually takes home P1, and it is more than likely going to be Trey Mistack, who is sitting P2 right now, possibly going to be P3 at the end of this race, but that's just enough points to push him right ahead to P1 in the Driver's Championship, as well as help out his team improve their standings as well. Valhalla Motorsports, I believe, is sitting somewhere in the mid-section of those drivers. At P4, possibly? But 3/10 off. You think this driver's going to make the move as they go down the back straight? Let's jump on board here. And we got 3 drivers in the pit lane right now. We have Jacob Clemens in P14, Noah Hoskinson in P27, Max Yoder in P29, and Zachary Hinterhoff in P30. Jacob Clemens is back out on the track, as well as Tyler Tier. And look at that, Trey Mistack and Alex Carver both go into the pit lane at the same time. So we're going to pull back. Andrew Pickrell, who could take P1 right now, also goes in the pit lane. Kyle Deckert also goes into the pit lane. Pulling back, we have Nicholas Matcham still going for it. Eric Miller also going into the pit lane. We have Matt Shack, who was P1 at the start of this race, is now going to be able to grab his title back from Alex Carver as he goes down the start straight finish. Let's see what happens. That is the wrong angle. I believe he just passed. It's Alex Carver out. That's Trey Mistack out. And I believe that is Alex Carver 2.6 seconds ahead of Trey Mistack. Oh, so Matthew Shack. Like I said, folks, I confuse them all the time, but that is unfortunate. He got jumped on the overcut, and it worked out for Alex Carver. He just found some pace and stayed with it. That's 2.6 seconds. That's rough when you think about it. Matt Shack had over a 1. Oh! What is happening, folks? He is down to P3 as he just may have forgotten that he has cold tires from the pit lane. It's got to take it easy here. Oh, no. What is going on? Loss of confidence. The tires are cold. He didn't unsettle the car too much. He didn't hit the walls too much. It looked like it's just a scratch. But maybe he's getting his mojo back. Keeping things together. And he's definitely going to have to... He made some good moves, though. He's still able to take back a couple positions. Driver errors on your outlap really can make or break it for you, but looks like he's going to be having to battle against P4, Andrew Pickrell, who must have made a move happen, because Eddie Layton, who was P4, is sitting, I believe, P6? Down in defensive he goes against a Kyle Deckard. Difficult to make a move on the outside there. He loses a little bit. Just behind him is Eddie Layton in P6, and then in that Hell's Corner, it's like Constable Cody Wasson right there in P7. Rough. Rough to see when the driver who was in P1 just makes some mistakes on an outlap and really just falls apart. But it's Trey Mistack's fortune, because he will win the driver championship here. Oh, and then there goes. I get a better angle here. We have Steve McAllister. Oh. The DHL has passed. What can you do if you're Andrew Pickrell? That's P5 for him. Just drop back down. And you got Steve McAllister in P16, who's down a lap. Kind of backing everybody up here. And Eddie Layton now half a second off of Andrew Pickrell, and Kyle Deckard just ahead with like 2/10. Is Andrew going to try to make a move on Kyle Deckard? Is he going to be able to have that space to do so? Steve keeps a good line, stays predictable, and these drivers drive around it. I think the only person that really didn't make out in that scenario was Andrew Pickrell, who lost a position because, I mean, see it or not, he had to react to a driver ahead of him that was a lap down, and he had to move to the outside so he didn't hit the driver, and that left the door open for Kyle Deckard to make the move, and it's a great move he made. I don't believe he's going to make the move anytime soon, so we're going to pull back to some other drivers on track here. We got Eddie Layton in P6 and Cody Wasson in P7, just behind there's a trio just ahead. And nothing squirrely happens this round going up the hill. There's a little bit of extra speed there, but not enough to help him there. Oh, Kyle Decker touches the wall. Little chef's kiss, as you will. Gonna move on board with him as he's taking this. Easy going. Got Matt Shack in P3 down in the S as he goes, pushing ahead to Wiley Cox in P16. He's on an outlap. Just ahead of him is Ray Frias in P19. With Trey Mistack ahead, a lap up. Is that what you're seeing on the relative? That red means they are a lap up. Wiley Cox and Ray Frias are on the same lap. Might have actually overtaken him for that position. That might be Ray Frias in the P16. It's possible, but I won't know until we get across this line here. And shake up even more so as it says Wiley Cox is now P17 as Ray Frias crosses the line. He takes P17 and P18 is behind him by half a second, or a second and a half. And pushing ahead, we got Trey Mistack with 3 seconds off of Alex Carver. David Gauntlet in P21, a lap down from the drivers all around him. That's got to be a little scary. Alex Carver bringing it home in P1 with a 3-second gap behind him. And we got about 4 laps left to go. Zachary Bryant going up the hill. Is he going to keep everything steady? Looks to be so. He's P16, and he has a couple drivers behind him, way more than 15 seconds off. So I don't think he's worried about his position. We have Andrew Korostecki in P22 with Max Yoder. Oh, touches the wall. More than likely, a little bit of aero damage is going to occur if you keep doing that. P24 is ahead of him. Lap down from everybody around him. Then we go on a Max Yoder who, you know, made some saucy moves. I mean, he goes back out there on his outlap and kind of backs up some of these battles that actually were to occur due to his intervention being there on track. He definitely got out of the way when it was a gentleman's way to do so, but in some of those parts of the mountain, you can't make the move to let people by. You just have to let it happen. Noah Hodgkinson in P28. Oh, you hate to see it. He's out, folks. We got the safety car doing nothing with all these accidents happening around him. Jacob Clemens in P15 with a comfortable lead against P16, who's a couple sectors back from him. Kyle, and he's got about 16-second gap from Kyle Aiken in P14. Jumping on board with Kyle Aiken. Car number 3, he's got about a 15-second gap to 13 and a 16-second gap from the guy behind him. So comfortably in his own race right now. Matthew Wyckoff in P13 with a 3.5-second gap to Craig Carroll, who's sitting in P12. And Craig Carroll at the start of this race, I believe he started further back. We'll take a quick look here. It looked like Craig started 12th and he's finishing 12th at this moment in time. That's a good, consistent driver. Grid placement and everything. He's able to keep it after the shakeup. He's still going for it. He's got Eric Rodriguez about 4/10 off of him. And Eric Rodriguez's teammate looked to have been in this final corner here. Ever so slightly, and went back to the pits for that one. Don't know the driver's name, but, you know, things happen. They are separated by 2/10 now. And will Craig make the move to take home P11? Or is he going to be satisfied with his grid placement and his finish? A couple laps left to go on this race, and then we're going to be ending the championship. And then I think it's a small break before we jump back into another season. I believe it's going to be just as long as the iRacing weeks. 12 weeks, 12 rounds. Still more to come and details to follow on that. So stay tuned with us, or just follow us at the Discord, and they will be updating everybody within the next couple of days, I believe. And looks like nothing was made there, but he is still relatively close enough to make a move, maybe down that back straight. Oh, As it looks like Eric's getting a little defensive on that defensive line, but does he really need to be? It's anyone's guess. Hard pressed to find a driver that's going to make that move going into the S's, but it's possible. And he's only separated 3/10. He got a good exit. He's pushing hard. It's possible if he makes that move. 2/10 now. He's really in the slipstream. Can he go for that move down the inside line? Yeah, he's already sticking. And Eric Rodriguez goes for like almost a midline there. Try to be extremely not extremely defensive, but mildly defensive there. Possibly another move. Keeps it together. Oh. And we see Eric Rodriguez goes against Nicholas Matcham. Down the inside line he goes and overtakes him. No, he doesn't. Now that is, gotta match them all. That's a great slogan. And he dives out of the way and lets these drivers by. I mean, he kind of battled him in that corner, and that was fair play. Every right to do. This isn't Formula One, folks. He doesn't have to do anything he doesn't want to do. Unless that's written in the rules of the league. I wouldn't know. But, blue flags only matter in Formula One. And there goes Alex Rodriguez with Craig Carroll. Actually, 1/10. He's only a 10th off of the drivers. You hope he's going to make a move. He's been on the back of him for several laps now. Oh, it gives him a little bit more space there. And we're going to jump ahead. Tyler Tier, who's in P10. Tyler Anderson in P9. Steve McAllister in P19. Eric Miller in P8. No driver really in contention with this guy's position here. Ray Frias in P8 with Cody Wasserman ahead of him, waiting 3/10. Definitely not going to try to make a move against drivers on a lap up. And there we go. Goes Cody Wasserman with 6/10 off of Eddie Layton. Eddie Layton P6? Okay. Oh, and Kyle Deckard goes the outside and tries to make a move against Andrew Pickrell. He fails to do so, and Eddie Layton is on the back of him, and he is really close, folks, as he tries to fend him off. That move he made down the outside line really messed with his ability to keep good position, as Andrew Pickrell seemingly just starts off ahead of him. And it's really now just down to Eddie Layton and Cody Wasserman, 4/10 off of each other. Can they make something happen here? Off of Kyle Deckard, who went for an overtake against Andrew Pickrell on the same lap that Andrew Pickrell overtook him. It's a bold strategy. Eddie Layton kind of losing a lot of steam here. Not sure what happened there, but now we got Kyle Deckard right back on the heels of Andrew Pickrell. Down to the final laps we go, I believe. The real question is even am I even still? Oh, doesn't look good. Um, Looks like it's just done. Oh, you can still hear me. We'll just pull back to. We'll be right back. Um, so it looks like the game has slightly crashed here, but the order didn't really settle up much. Um, let's pull that down a little bit. Yeah, it looks like it's just right at the last second. Things have gone awry, but the order has not shaken up in this time frame. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like things just kind of went a little awry, but nothing shook up. We have Alex Carver. If you could still hear me and you can still see the screen here, that's good news. We have Alex Carver who finished P1, Trey Mistack finished P2, Matthew Shack in P3, Andrew Pickrell in P4. Kyle Decker did not overtake him for that P5 finish for him. Cody Wassman P6, Eddie Layton in P7, Eric Miller P8, Tyler Anderson P9, Tyler Tier in P10, Craig Carroll in P11. He did overtake Eric Rodriguez, so that's a good move by him. We unfortunately didn't get to see that as the session comes to a close, but then we have Matthew Wyckoff in P13, Kyle Aiken in 14, Zachary Bryan in 15. um, Wiley Cox in 16, Ray Freese in 17, Steve McAllister in 18, Nicholas Matcham in 19, Andrew Korostecki in 21, 2 laps down, David Gauntlet in P22, Jacob Plemons in P22, Max Yoder in P23, David Flanagan in 24, and then several other drivers that decided that their cars weren't drivable, so they finished 13, 14, 18, 19 laps down. 2 drivers that never actually they qualify. They put in practice times, but they never actually finished the race. Um, it's preliminary, folks, but I might be able to tell you that it looks like, based on the results by Trey Mistack, he is uh going to be the driver standing winner here. I kind of hope it's that way. And let's just pull this ahead here. I'll just transition that too. It looks like it's a good placement for Valhalla Motorsports and the Tryhards, who finished 6th and 4th. And unfortunately, I think we're going to see some massive shakes in the driver standings, as Trey Mistek will take P1 from Timothy Bray. Andrew Pickrell will take P2 as well from Timothy Bray. And Timothy Bray might actually go down to P4, depending on, because Alex Carver did finish P1. He's definitely going to jump some of these drivers. Um, just like an anticlimactic ending to the race there, folks. But thank you for joining me. Definitely be on for the next season as it goes into that. Appreciate you guys for watching, and come back again. We're going to be here in just a couple weeks, as well as this is the GT3 championship that is coming to a close. But we do have the F4 championship. That has also come to a close, but new seasons are upon us, and we will be streaming GT3 and possibly GT4, the F4 series as well. So just keep that in mind, and follow us on Discord to see all those updates. Thank you for watching, and have a good evening.